Welcome, everybody, to the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Channel. My name is Ross Benjamin, and we're live on Friday afternoon here with Mr. Jesse Schule and Mr. Sean Higgs, all three of us from gamblersworld.net. I'm glad you could join us today, folks. Be sure to chime in with all your comments and questions. We'll get to as many questions and comments as we can, and time permitting. But anyway, Jesse, how are you?
I don't know, Ross. I'm feeling a little uncomfortable. It's a little warm in here. I'm on fire, Ross. I'm on fire. Yeah.
That's good. I know Higgsy's on fire too. That's why he's wearing a short sleeve shirt today. No long sleeve for Higgsy.
Come on, I always wear a short sleeve shirt. Let me ask you, if we do collars with sleeveless, can we pull that off? Is that all right? Like a sweater vest? Like if I wear a sweater vest.
Like Jesse?
Yeah, but sleeveless.
Jesse looks like that look has the look of a guy that I remember going to the 75 senior ball with. I mean, he was dressed in a sweater vest and a shirt just like Jesse. Oh, his was white though, Jesse. So you're more modern. Yours is black. So
does this guy get searched at the airport, Russ?
No, he does not. No, he does not. He doesn't fit the profile, apparently. Anyway,
I get searched at the airport every time I go. I'm always get checked at the airport.
Wow. Okay.
Well, you know what? I take the early flight, and especially in Jersey. So I'm there at like 4 a.m, and I come in solo guy going to Vegas, and they're like, "Look at this big gorilla. Come here, sir." Jesse though looks like the guy you used to see at the end of the bar though when you had to go pay the man on like a Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah, man, he looks
like
3:30
on like a Wednesday.
One of them guys
got an envelope full of cash. Guys down there.
Make the drop, Jesse. Make the drop. Hey, we got a question. Tell us one of your bookie stories, Victor Johnson.
I think that question's directed toward you, Russ.
Oh, it is. Okay. Well, tell me one of your bookie stories. Let me think about that one for a second. None come right to the top of my head because I haven't dealt with local bookies in so long. And the other ones I wouldn't want to mention because they're probably going to be funny. And certain people I don't piss off in Rochester here locally. So, all right, El Dohar going out on a limb. Hurts not playing as well as Tua. Leaning Dolphins, but love the over. Again, that over has come down a little bit. I believe it's 51.5 now. And the Eagles line really hasn't moved. It's 2.5. Sean, you got any early thoughts on that game?
Yeah, I like Philly, believe it or not, man. I just think it's a good spot. Off the loss, everybody's sky is falling on Philly. Haven't been playing up to par what they thought they'd be, right? They're playing bad and still winning, and then they get picked off on the road. Again, bad spot for them last week, right? Cross country, overtime, LA against the Jets who play defense. And they got Miami. Again, they look awesome, Miami. What's it? I mean, you can't really knock their offense, but last time I saw them on the road, they're getting blasted by 20 on the road. So,
yeah, well, that was because, again, in Miami's defense, they got way behind in that game, Sean. You know what I mean? And they had to go one-dimensional, and I think that hurt them an awful lot.
I mean, come on, you want to go one-dimensional when you have those wide receivers, right? Why should that hurt
you? But at the same time, would you agree that they have a good running game? They got well, the one back is hurt, Acuna or whatever his name is, and the other guy, help me out, Jesse. That started back for
Mostert, A-Chain. A-Chain's on the DL.
Yeah, he's killing it. So I mean, when you could keep them guessing a little bit, Sean, Miami's a whole different animal to defend. But in that Buffalo game, they had to abandon the run because they got blitzkrieged. And Buffalo was scoring on every possession, and Miami didn't match them on a couple. And next thing you know, they're down 2 touchdowns. And I thought they abandoned the run way too early in that game. But again, I think they're at their best when there's more balance in their offense. And I'm not talking 50-50. I'm talking about even 40-60 with that offense. The way Mostert could break runs, and he's a home run hitter. The other kid that starts with an A, don't ask me to pronounce his name again. People, you can make fun of us all you want when we don't pronounce a name right, but at the end of the day, we're out to beat a number. All right, let's take a look at another question. You always have some heat. Keep it up. Not sure what he means. Help me out, guys.
He's talking about me
Yeah.
being on fire and
Yeah, and
how
I'm
uncomfortable
sweating,
it is
and
to be this
because his
hot.
wife
Woo!
are beaming on me, and also I just got out of a hot shower. So
Somebody give me a glass of water. Cool off.
yeah, Jesse sends me a picture today, Sean, a Facebook message with him in that exact wardrobe, and it's 10:30 in the morning. He's waiting for us to come on the air.
Yeah.
You know?
That's how
tagged-
excited I am
he tagged me
about
in that.
seeing you
He's like,
guys, you know?
Going
Right.
live in 10 minutes. I'm like, I'm not gonna be there, Jess. Have a good show.
Hey, you know you love your job when you show up 5 hours early for work.
All right. So many face guys. All right. We don't want to go anywhere there. I'm a Christian guy, so you're not going to get any flack from me, my friend. Shirley, Washington -2. I'm assuming, yes, the Redskins -2. We did cover that game earlier this week. And I was on Washington on the money line at -125 or -130. And Chip and Paul Bovey were against me. Now, remember, Paul's an existing New York Giants season ticket holder, and Chip was a diehard New York Giants fan growing up. And his father was a season ticket holder. So there was a little bias that had to do with that selection, but it's not out of realm of possibility the Giants can win this game. But it all starts with guys. They got to score an offensive touchdown. They haven't scored an offensive touchdown since September 21st in the third quarter against San Francisco. 206
like the Giants.
minutes plus of no offensive
like the Giants,
touchdown.
Ross.
Yeah, exactly. I think the
Giants.
San Francisco Giants outscore them. So anyway, yeah, I mean, yeah, you would think the obvious is Washington. I did give them out. I just can't take a team that's offensively inept as they are. So yeah, and there's our buddy from Earl Sports Bets, our guys from Picks and Parlays, Earl Sports Bets. Either Nick or Tim, I'm not sure which one that is, but very good young handicappers over at picksandparleys.net. Check them out, folks. And they do a very good job on their podcast as well. We got another one. Jesse, what should the people in the chat do with the like button? I forgot. Too early, buddy. It's too early.
I told him we saved that for the end of the show.
You guys,
you can never. You can start hitting that like button early. It's all right.
Yeah, Jay Parley, without no offense, Parleys are for suckers. Okay. I mean, I don't do look at these guys might tell you something different. Ross. I doubt it, but you could win a couple in a row and get a false sense of security. And trust me, the roof will come falling down sooner or later, probably sooner. Jesse, you want to touch on that subject?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Ross. 95% of me is going to agree with Ross, but over the years, I've dabbled with correlating parlays when the books probably shouldn't let you parlay two events that correlate. And if they're going to allow you to do it, then I'll do it. So I will break the rule of no parlays if I can get correlating parlays that they probably shouldn't even let you place that bet.
I will correct myself on occasion, Sean, when I'm red hot, which I've been over the last 2 months, and I've done this on a couple of occasions. There's a big difference between a round robin and just playing a 2 or 3 team parlay. And what I like to do on occasion, if I like 3 teams, I will do a round robin, A with B, A with C, and B with C. I will not do the 3-teamer. A reason being is if you win 2 out of 3 and you played a 3-teamer in a round robin, you're going to lose money. So I look at it like I'm going to go for the jackpot, and the worst that's going to happen in my mind is going 2-1. I'm going to make a small profit on the round robin. I'm going to make a profit on my flat bets, and if I hit all 3, bingo. Again, Sean, your thoughts?
Yeah, best way to go 3-1 is put that 14 parlay. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
I say that all the time. And why do a round robin? At least I can't fathom going 4-1, 7-1, 8-2, and losing money because you put in a parlay.
Yeah, you always
but I'm like Jesse and you guys. Like, yeah, things are going good. I'll dabble a little bit doing things here and there, but that's not. Those are scratch-off tickets, Jay. I know somebody posted one, and they talked about Midday Monday. Like some guy did a strikeout in the Arizona game, and it was like $100, $140. He won like $100,000 with 8 Ks, and he had it jacked up. I'm like, holy cow! Like, Hey, good. And I said, if I saw that, I would have been like, you know what? I'd put $25 on that for what the heck? Philly was, Arizona's going to strike out. And if the kid B. Fatty pitched like he's supposed to be a top guy like he is in their farm system, maybe they get lucky. And sure enough,
Hey,
great payday.
He was yesterday.
That's a nice goal. But I'm not telling people to go put, 150, 300. You're supposed, if you're betting that, right? If you're betting $10, you should have 1,000 in the bank as your bankroll. That's the way it is.
I mean,
1%.
but would you agree, Sean, for everybody who hits one of those for 100,000, there's about $2 million worth of losers in parlays,
Yes.
So that's just keep that in mind, folks. You always see the ones that they post that they win, and hey, you should brag and you should put it up if you put up $25. What was it, 25 to win 100,000? What
was, I think, 140 $140 you bet.
140 to win 100,000. God bless you, man.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Baylor catching +3.5 against Cincy. Back at quarterback off a bye week. Odd line, I thought. You're thinking, I don't know. They just keep giving Cincy more credit than they're due, Sean, I think, to Dan's point.
I like Cincy here, believe it or not.
Yeah. Okay.
I like Cincy.
All right.
I'm Baylor. What have we seen out of Baylor, this team?
Nothing.
You beat
nothing. They beat Central Florida in that epic comeback.
They were down 35 to nothing or whatever, and then their other win is over LIU. So no, I don't think they're going to go on a road and beat. And Cincinnati's not a good team. They've struggled. They have trouble scoring points themselves. It's not like they're a great offensive club, but I can't. I don't 3.5. No, thank you. Don't be lured in. You see that 3.5, thinking you're gonna they lose by a field goal. I win. No, they're not losing they're losing by 10. Don't worry about the field goal.
Jesse, your thoughts?
I'm not a Blake Shapen fan, but Utah, Baylor probably should have beat Utah. It was sort of a inexplicable type of ending where pick six and all of a sudden they lose a game. They had a game,
right, Jess?
It went well for me, but it was very lucky because Baylor should have got that win with their backup quarterback against Utah. Then Shapen comes back, and like I said, I'm not a fan of Blake Shapen. Didn't like him last year, but he came back and he was lighting it up in his first couple games back. But I don't pay enough attention to the back end of the Big 12. Haven't really been involved in any Cincy games, so I don't have that much of an opinion on the game. This particular game.
And here's one of the young men from Real Sports Bet. Again, only ones I do is a 6-point teaser. You know what? Here's the thing, and I did this study about 3 years ago. I haven't done it since. But do yourself a favor, Nick or Tim. Look up how many times you played a teaser, how many times you won, and then the times you won if you would have won it anyway without the 6 points. Truth be told, 71% of the time over a 5-year period that I did a study on, when you played a 6-point teaser and you won, you would have won 70% of the time anyway, just playing a parlay. I just told you a parlay's a sucker bet. Again, I guess it's the better of the two alternatives, Jesse.
I tried dabbling with teasers. I didn't like it. I stay away. I don't play teasers anymore.
They look so good.
All right. So
I do the
Sean?
teaser Tuesday, and I'm 3-2 in NFL. I'm like 1-5 or 1-6 in college. Oh, 2-1 in college all the time. Something always buries you. Something you think's gonna. All they gotta do is win. All they gotta do is win. Okay. Sure.
Thoughts on Sean McVape and the Rams -3 at home. McVape. All right. Hey, you never know if he's high or not. Anyway, bottom line is that I'm going to have a free pick on this game near the end of the show, Arbo. So if you want to stay tuned, you'll get my pick. You also get Sean and Jesse's feedback on what I have to say. And trust me when I tell you, they're never at a loss for words when it comes to opposing me or agreeing with me. One of the two. All right. Not many games with Blake at quarterback, though. Jesse, you want to address this? I'm not sure who he's referring to.
I think this goes to what I was saying. Is Shapen comes back. He looks really good. So Dan might be alluding to the fact that if you judge Baylor based on their entire portfolio this year, and they've only got a couple games with Shapen back and playing well, you're misjudging them if you're not factoring that in. I don't know if that's exactly what Dan's trying to say, but that's an angle that I really like in my handicapping process, is when you have a guy that's been out injured and he comes back and he's playing well, and then you hear other handicappers and touts, and you watch the shows on CBS and the pregame shows, and they're like, this team is terrible. They only average 200 passing yards a game. It's like, well, their starting quarterback missed 3/4 of the season, and he's back now. So whatever they averaged means nothing. So that might be what Dan was getting at.
Yeah, okay. But Dan has been a loyal follower of ours on this show, on Jesse's channel, on Sean's show, and he has a very good opinion on most occasions.
Yeah.
When I say most occasions, no matter how much you know, somebody will always disagree with you. So I never want to say somebody has 100% good opinion all the time, and that includes all of us. So he was caught vaping at the Super Bowl parade. Look, let's not get carried away. You don't know if there was pot in there. It's possible he was vaping tobacco. My wife was doing that for a while, and I'm glad that she quit, because it's absolutely no good for you, but irrelevant to the world of sports betting right now. All right, let's talk about one of the games that we're going to cover.
You tried your way to smoking, great.
Yeah, let's cover one. That was tobacco she was doing, by the way, Mr. Higgs. Miami and Philly, waiting for Jesse's big opinion on this contest. Right now, Philly a 2.5-point favorite, 51.5. I know that Sean will be chomping at the bit to throw his 2 cents in there. Doesn't matter what topic it is. Sean's always chomping at the bit. But in any event, go ahead, Jesse. Tell us all what you think of this matchup.
Well, I know what Sean likes, because I tune into his shows and I do value his opinion. But if the Eagles had got the win over the Jets, I'd have been all over Miami in this spot. I would have really liked Miami, but because the Eagles lost, now you got to bet on them to lose back-to-back games. It's not quite as enticing for me. I'm going to stay off the side. I'm going to focus on the total. Ton of money is coming on the under. I think that's the right direction. I think that money's sharp money, trending in the right direction. I'll point to, Miami's high-flying offense. They look great. Like I said, I entertained the thought about betting on them in this game, but I will point to his splits at home: 9 touchdowns, 2 picks, 76% passing. On the road, 5 TDs, 3 picks, and 67% passing. He's not quite as effective on the road. This is a tough road game. And if you look at the strategy that's going to be employed by the Eagles, you're facing a prolific passing attack. How do you slow down a prolific passing attack? You control the clock, you run the ball. Oh, by the way, they're second in the league in rushing. They run for 150 yards a game, so they're well equipped to do that. And you got your quarterback, Jalen Hurts, who he's not lighting up in the passing game anymore. His last 5 games, 5 touchdowns, 7 picks, and he's been sacked 11 times in those games. So the recipe, the game script that I'm seeing is Philly runs the ball, controls the clock, and keeps that total low, keeps the score under 51.5. So under 51.5 is my plan.
Under 51.5, Miami and Philly. Again, check the weather in that game as well. We're talking about a game in the Northeast as we approach where we are in the 3rd week of October, actually. And Sean, we talked about when Buffalo played Miami. And one of the things that I picked up from, again, they got one-dimensional. And the Buffalo defensive line and linebackers were able to tee off and rush the passer, but they harassed Tua all day. And he gets rid of the ball quick anyway, but it sort of unnerved him a little bit. I mean, it's one thing getting rid of the ball quick. It's another thing getting rid of the ball quick when you have 1 or 2 guys in your face. So the combination of the running game from Philly, and Philly's more than capable of putting a lot of pressure on Tua. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I agree with Jesse's thoughts on the under. And especially, let's just go basic on this, that the public loves Miami. They like Tyreek Hill. They like Waddle. They like Mozart and Tua. So they're going to run to the over. I know there's the whole primetime under trend, but you got to like the under. You got to like Phillies again off a loss. I like the Phillies. the Philly Eagles. I call them the Phillies, but they're the same.
Yeah.
As a Cowboy fan, I don't
you
like.
guys are both just kissing ass because Jim's our producer.
No, that's a lie. Because I said I like the Eagles when somebody mentioned Miami before. I said no, we're taking Philly here.
And I also value your opinion, by the way, Sean. I
So
value it
if I like
love
Philly, I
to
gotta like the
disagree with
under.
it. Yeah,
I think
okay. Well,
for them to win, they can't.
this time.
I don't think they're in a shootout. I don't think they want to get in a shootout.
All right, so Earl Sports Bets, Eagles -2.5 and under 52. He's jumping on the veteran bandwagon there. Again, check these guys out over at picksandparleys.net. Two young, very good handicappers, very sharp, and do a fine job on some of the podcasts over there at Picks and Parleys YouTube channel. Also, Dan, our regular guest, not regular guest, but regular supporter, okay, and also he chimes in quite often on these shows. He's got his own YouTube channel as well with over 1,000 followers. You might want to check him out as well. We're spreading the wealth here, boys. And don't forget us, gamblersworld.net. All three of us are handicappers over at gamblersworld.net, along with 7 other great handicappers. It's at gamblersworld.net where we guarantee our picks on single game, multi-game daily packages, all subscription plans of 30 days or less. If you don't win, you don't make a profit, we will credit your account back the exact amount of your purchase price. And most of the time, folks, with the cast of characters we have, it's going to be a moot point. And I know one thing. I checked the standings today at picksandparleys.net, and there's a couple familiar faces in there. Let me go to that right now real quickly here so I'm accurate in reporting. Last 7 days, Mr. Jesse Schule, 13-7. Sean Higgs, 18-13. Ross Benjamin, 11-6. 1, 2, and 3 at the site. Last 30 days, Jesse Schule, Ross Benjamin, Sean Higgs in that order. Last 60 days, Ross Benjamin, Jesse Schule, and Kyle Hunter. So you see that 2 of those 3 standings are leaderboards. All 3 of us are on. The other one, 2 of us are on, and actually since the site started, me and Jesse are number 1 and 2. Jesse's really surging right now, folks, so keep an eye on him over at gamblersworld.net. Jesse, tell the folks a little bit about how you're surging, because I know you've been red hot of late.
Yeah, baseball playoffs, really hot with that.
Baseball.
9-1 run with baseball playoffs. Baseball's not even my sport. I wish
I'm old enough to remember last week. Baseball, let's just talk football. I remember that a week ago. Now all of a sudden, now it's what's
well, the truth be told, if I could pull off a deal with the man upstairs, I'd trade some of those baseball winners for college football winners. But I'll take it. You know, I mean, the thing is, playoffs is a different monster. All sports for me, playoffs is a different monster. All sports. You can flip a switch. If you haven't had a great season, flip that switch in the playoffs, and that's been the case. CFL also 9-1 last 10 CFL. College football still plenty good, 4-2 last Saturday. I think winning weekends for the last 5 or something along those lines. Not as good as I set my standards pretty high for college football. I'd rather just be winning with college football than baseball and CFL, but you know, we'll take it where we can get it, and we won't look a gift horse in the mouth. That's a boomer expression.
Making money, buddy. All about making money and winning for our clients. Bills first half -5.5. I know that Sean said he already chimed in and said he agreed in text. Bills scored 0 last game. Feels like low-hanging fruit, but I'm extremely tempted to take the Bills at -5.5 in the first half. Hard to believe they want to start a game flat again. Actually, that was the first time they were shut out in the first half since 2017. And again, yeah, that was a rare bad performance. Here's the thing. Over the last few years, when Josh Allen has a so-so performance to poor performance, watch out the following week. He very, very rarely has 2 bad games in a row. So, yeah, I mean, I would say if you like the Bills -5.5 in the first half, I don't see New England coming back from a large deficit in this game. The Bills' pass rush has been very good this year. The Patriots' offense is suspect, their passing game especially. So we'll see what happens there. But any thoughts from you, Jesse, on this particular pick that Dan is suggesting?
I don't have strong feelings on this game, but for those of you who are interested in hearing what Dan has to say, he's coming to debate me tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. Eastern on my kickoff show, and I'm really looking forward to debating Dan over the Duke and Florida State game. So we'll see what he has to
Sounds
say
good.
for himself
Very
tomorrow.
interesting.
Yeah, it's
It's
awesome. Dan's got
10:30.
good stuff. I like his comments. He doesn't always
yeah.
agree. He comes in with good stuff. He doesn't just
But he
throw
says it
off-the-wall
does
stuff
it
at them.
respectfully, the way it's supposed to be done. So
Which is why he gets the invite to come on and talk, right?
yeah, you guys look like the Irish and Italian syndicate lay the points. Well, I'm Italian, even though I go by Ross Benjamin. Benjamin's my middle name, folks. I need to protect my privacy in this industry, especially. So I've been going to Ross Benjamin for the last 20 years in the business, and I'll always be Ross Benjamin, but I am Italian. Sean's got a bit of Italian in as well, correct, Sean? On your mom's side?
Actually, I'm I'm Italian. I got the Irish name. I'm adopted. I'm all Italian German. Like,
Oh,
I think
okay.
I'm like 70, 30, 60, 40 Italian.
And
So I
Jesse,
got the Irish name. A bunch of mix stole me off a curb somewhere in Jersey.
what is Schule? Is that German?
Part of the deal I had to sign with the government and the witness protection program is I can't divulge my heritage or really speak about my past too much.
Yeah.
I assume it's German, Ross, but we don't really have any direct ties to Germany in recent
if you ever
years.
if you ever watch Hogan's Heroes, there was a guy called Colonel Klink. That's Jesse's. He's Jesse's nephew.
My great uncle.
Anyway. Slow start, want to come out hot. I'm not
Buffalo.
sure what you're referring to.
That was to the Buffalo. He was talking about the Bills. Against the Giants.
So,
they want to come out good here. And you look at for the last 5 games versus New England, they've outscored them by double digits here. So why wouldn't they?
Yeah, they crushed them.
And New England just looks bad. Part of me wants to take New England. Like, I look at the points, like, oh man, I could get 9 or 8.5, but I can't pull the trigger on that. Buffalo's owned them. They've owned them.
And they're a mess. They really are. They picked up J.C. Jackson, who fell out of favor with the Chargers, and he was a great cornerback at one time with New England. They're in desperation mode right now. They're 1-5, and a lot of times they're not even competing in some of these games. All right, let's get to our next game, which is a good AFC West battle between the LA Chargers and the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chargers might be the best 3-loss team in football, maybe. And Kansas City, little different element to the Chiefs this year, Sean. I see a very improved defense, but an offense that's not as explosive. I know that earlier this week they picked up McCole Hardman, their former receiver, who got let go by the Jets. They're missing that speed element that they used to have before. It seems like Miami is the new Kansas City now on offense. But what's your take on this one with the Kansas City Chiefs minus 5.5 and the total at 48?
Who wanted a parlay? Because I'll give you both here that I like here. You want to parlay this puppy up? I like the Chargers and the points. I like the under here. The Chargers, we saw them look again terrible. Another 1-score game, they blow it. The coach somehow continues to be welcomed back with open arms here. But they played Kansas City tough, and Kansas City high. Russ, I know you got the numbers in front of you somewhere for Kansas City. They do not cover spreads. What are they, 5-15 or some kind of?
I know you can carry the load talking. Let me look at my database.
They do not cover. They don't cover.
Especially at home, correct, Sean? Is that what you're referring to?
Okay. Yeah, terrible.
Right,
I think a 1-score games are like, at home, 28-25. Mahomes at home, ATS. Listen, they don't cover numbers. I got a team that looked first drive down the field, touchdown one day. You're thinking, look at this. It's going to be a wild one. Yeah. Okay. Listen, don't be fooled. Kansas City's going to score a little bit here. Familiar with each other. Kansas City defense improved. I'm going to go Chargers and the under here. Kansas City's a defensive team. As much as they got Mahomes and Kelsey, they're
very much improved defensively, especially in the secondary. That's what I was just alluding to.
You they scored 41 versus the Bears. You take that game out of it, and they're scoring 20, 21 points a game. This isn't old Kansas City here. This is defensive Kansas City.
Jesse, you have a take here on this game?
Yeah, I had the Chargers plus 2.5 last week, and I'm a glutton for punishment because I'm coming right back with them. This game's got Chargers losing by 4 points, 3 or 4 points written all over it. But like Sean said, they play the Chiefs tough. The Chiefs haven't been scoring a ton. They haven't been covering numbers. It's a
5.5, I'll
no-brainer.
take it. I'll take 5.
I can't go any other direction with this game.
Kansas City is 6-3 ATS in their last 9 as a home favorite, 12-7 ATS in their last 19 as a home favorite. I did not do a line parameter, meaning what they are after -7 or greater, or something like that. I will tell you this though: 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 4, 2, 5, 2, 6, 2, 7, 2, 8, 2, 8, 3, 9, 3, 10, 3. 10-3 to the under in their last 13 as a home favorite. In 11, 12, 13, 14, 14-7 under their last 21 as a home favorite. 15-10, 16, 17, 18, 19-10 their last 29 as a home favorite. So, that seems to be what I recollect. Is them not being a real good home favorite, but that's not been the case. And again, I didn't do a parameter of -7 or less or 7 or greater, but they do play to the under as a home favorite, which is really, when you stop and think about it, how many people automatically look to play an over in a Kansas City home game, so
They just run to it.
Yeah, exactly. So there's something to be said there. Let's see if we have any other thing we could, as far as I go, I was going to say this anyway. I liked the under when it was the opening number of it, where it was 50.5 on Monday morning. It was actually opened at, hold on with me, unless one of you guys have that readily available. But as I recollect, let's see, Kansas City,
52.
where are you? 52 was the opening number.
Yeah.
I like the 52 and 50.5 a lot more than I like 48. But yeah, that's a big move, and that should tell you something. The Chargers played a low-scoring game last week, but it was more so because they shot themselves in the foot so many times. In any event, all right. So let me see here. Hey guys, what's up, Jesse? All right, let me get Mar. Hey guys. Hey, what's up, Jesse? What's up, Sean? Hey, Ross. Hey, Mar, how you doing, brother? And let's see here, Sean. I see you, Mar. All right, Star Child
in the house.
Guys, salute to you, my friend, and Colonel Clink's nephew. Salute you as well. All right. So, yeah, man, does over 58.5 look inviting for SC and that South Carolina, Missouri? Look juicy or what? Yeah, I mean, it looks juicy, Dan, but look at the splits on this. I mean, I looked at this game. The first thing that came to my mind is exactly what you just said. I don't like betting games when over 80% of the action is in terms of volume of bets and bets made or money bet is on the over in this particular instance. I just don't like it. I mean, the public wins sometime, but that's overwhelming support. And I don't believe we've seen a lot of movement on this total either, if I recollect. So again, it looks on paper, that certainly looks very inviting because Missouri has shown they can move the ball on anybody. And South Carolina with Spencer Rattler is good for some points, and neither one of them plays particularly good defense. Go ahead, Jesse.
I just wanted to remind you, Ross, that you should recommend to Dan to tune into yesterday's show with you and Kyle and Doug, where this game and this total is discussed, and maybe take Kyle's opinion and Ross's opinion and decide which one you like better. And maybe one of these days I could get Kyle and Ross on the show going head to head. That seems like a long time away, but Kyle's got an alternative opinion.
Yep. Yeah.
Kyle's got an alternative opinion for you on yesterday's show, Dan.
Yep. So there you go.
How about just playing Mizzou here? How about just taking Mizzou minus the points? I mean, Carolina's given up 41 in the last two games. 41, 41, 37, 47, 31, 38 on the season. Excuse me. That 38 was from last week.
Mizzou did me good last week, going on the road and winning 38-21 convincingly. at Kentucky, a nationally ranked team. The only thing that scares me about this Mizzou game is, like I said on the show yesterday, they played a nationally ranked team in Kentucky on the road. They win decisively. They got number 1 Georgia up next. That's the only hesitation I would have. Other than that, I agree with Sean, and especially now that Luther Burton, who got hurt in the last game and didn't finish the last game, is set to be a go. So, yeah, I would definitely.
They have a bye week before that game before that trip to Georgia, so they got this week. They're off next week. So
good point. Good point. So that takes a little bit of that sandwich spot allure away. All right, thoughts on Tennessee plus 8.5 against Alabama? Seems like too many points. I just don't trust Tennessee's offense against a real good defense. That's the only problem I have. Other than that, I think you make a good point.
Didn't Tennessee rip the goalpost down and like walk them into like Kentucky after they beat them last year? Please. Yep. That's all Saban. Saban's like Michael Jordan. I took that personally. Like, he just needs some kind of ridiculous thing to motivate. Like, he's at that point now where, wow, look at that. They don't have red shoes on. These guys hate Alabama. You know, like, now Tennessee's not in this league right now. Now you can't trust Milton on the road. No way. Lay it. Don't be scared of the 8.5. Not too many points. It's not enough points if you're Tennessee.
Jesse.
Okay, so if you guys watch the Pat McAfee show, he interviews Saban once a week, and in the background in Saban's office, there's a binder, and it says Tennessee on it. And this has been brought up. Kyle brought it up on the show yesterday, the show that I told Dan to watch. I've seen it on every handicapper that's handicapping this. Well, every handicapper that's on Alabama is talking about this. I guess the guys that are on Tennessee are ignoring it. But, yeah, you got that huge revenge angle. But it's a nightmare matchup for Tennessee. Joe Milton's not doing – I mean, the recipe to beat Alabama is you got to throw. We saw Texas come in. Quinn Ewers won that game for Texas. And anybody who's upset Alabama over the last decade that I can remember did it with some strong quarterback play. And Joe Milton has shown no signs of being able to do that. In fact, Jalen Milroe, as much criticism as he's received. I mean, right now, Joe Milton looks like a poor man's Jalen Milroe. Milroe appears to be the better quarterback. Alabama's both teams have fantastic defenses, but Alabama's got more upside on offense. The Milroe to Burton deep connection is a threat. It's a threat that Tennessee doesn't possess.
Basically, they were a single-point favorite over Texas, and then you had to go back a couple years to a single-point home favorite over Georgia. Is Tennessee as good as either of those squads? I don't care that Alabama might be a step down. How is this not a 10-point line?
I mean, Tennessee just does not have an offense right now.
In Tennessee,
their big win last week, they scored 20 points. So, I mean,
but
where's the offense going to come from?
Their defense is very good. And I don't think the odds makers, by what I see right here, are convinced that Alabama is going to be able to move the ball consistently against this Tennessee defense. Well, that's my
take. Tennessee went on the road, and I'm pretty sure every one of us had Florida last time Tennessee went on the road. Tennessee upset them, or Florida upset them. It wasn't an upset because wrong team favored there, but 29-16 Florida. And I think Alabama's better than Florida.
All right, so Star Child said, I'm leaning South Carolina. Then he says, Roll Tide, give me Bama. Peter Reyes, hey, guys, make a live show. I'll catch up on the video. Hey, Peter, how are you, buddy? Always a pleasure when you could join us, and we appreciate all the support that you've given us over the last year at least. Here's another one from Arbo. Some decent overs this week. Utah State, San Jose State, UTSA, FAU, Hawaii, New Mexico. These are all, again, Arbo, these games. What about Howard and VMI? Are they playing this week?
UTSA is not bad, though.
Yeah,
I do have some action in that game.
Win. Yeah,
I got to say, I took UTSA because I've had them a couple times this year, but Tom Herman as a dog, I can't. If you like the Owls, I'm not going to say no to FAU. But
I touched on Dan's comment about Blake Shapen's only played a couple games, and I described the situation where you got the quarterback, he's been out for 3 or 4 games, and then people talk about how good this team is at passing the football. It's like, well, don't talk about what they're averaging when their starting quarterback's been out for half the season. That
You're
same
right,
thing
Frank
applies
Harris.
to UTSA with Frank Harris. And Frank Harris played, I think, the first 2 games and just sucked. And then he was out injured for a couple weeks. And I've hypothesized that perhaps the reason why he sucked is because he was playing hurt. Because since he's been back, he's been pretty damn good. He was expected to be pretty damn good. UTSA was expected to be pretty damn good. They've sort of shown signs of maybe they are the team we thought they would be. They certainly weren't for the first 4 games. I'm sort of leaning towards at the end of the year, they might be that team after all.
Yeah. And if you don't know how good Frank Harris is capable of being, look at his numbers the last 2 years. And he's one of those 6th-year guys. So again, he's when healthy, he's capable of putting up some huge numbers, and so is that UTSA offense. And then you're looking at FAU off that 56-14 win last week. So yeah, I think there's a little bit of credence to that FAU and UTSA over. In terms of Hawaii and New Mexico, I don't trust either one of those teams. They're both terrible. And it's the old saying, like we've been telling you for the last couple of weeks, Arbo, is sometimes you just got to look in the mirror and say there's better games on the board. And I think that's one of those instances. All right, let me get to my pick, which is in the Rams game, which I know a lot of you have chimed in about already. The Rams currently -3 over the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Rams are at home, a total of 44. Boy, I tell you, Pittsburgh's the most deceiving 3-2 team I've seen in a long time. Why do I say that? Well, look inside the numbers. They're -6.2 points per game at 3-2. They're also -121.2 yards per game. So for the most part, they've been very lucky when they have won, and they owe that to a +5 turnover differential. Against the Browns, for example, they won that game 26-22. They scored 2 defensive touchdowns in that game. You look at their offense, it's anemic. 15.8 points per game, 268.2 yards per game. I believe they not only got those 2 defensive touchdowns in the Pittsburgh game, I think they have another one in another game. So 3 defensive touchdowns, and they're still averaging 15.8 points per game. So that number, if you're really looking at their offense and the raw data of their offense, is even lower than that 15.8 points per game would indicate. They are coming off that 17-home win against Baltimore as a 5-point dog in a game. Baltimore beat himself more than Pittsburgh won the game. The Rams are 3-3. On the other hand, now they don't have as good a record, not by much, 3-3, 3-2, but they're plus 3.5 points per game and plus 36.7 yards per game. So they're not only a 3-3 team, they're a pretty good 3-3 team when you consider the fact that 2 of their 3 losses came at the hands of San Francisco and Philadelphia, who both lost their first games last week and have a combined 10-2 record. They're coming off a convincing 26-9 home win versus Arizona, and they covered as a 7.5-point favorite last week. And, of course, I have to give you one of my NFL betting angles. I know a lot of you scoff at it, but, folks, look at my record. And, I use this as part of my handicapping arsenal anyway. And as I always like to say, numbers don't lie and liars don't figure. Any NFL favorite of 12 or less, like the LA Rams are, that's coming off a straight-up win by 3 points or more. They won 26-9 last week. They have a win percentage of 500 or better. They're 3-3. And they're facing an opponent with a win percentage of 545 or better. Pittsburgh's 3-2, which is 600. And that opponent is coming off a home dog straight-up win like Pittsburgh is in that 17-10 win over the Baltimore Ravens. The NFL favorites in that situation of 12 or less have gone 25-5 against the spread, 83.3% since 1990. That's just a clincher. When I gave you the other stuff, the comparisons in terms of points per game differential, yard per game differential, and then this, as Jesse likes to say, you build up the evidence to come to a good decision. And my decision here is on the Rams -3 at home over Pittsburgh. Sean?
So I actually have a play posted on the site for this. I have a
All right,
package.
so let's stay away from that. Okay.
Yeah, I got. I was trying to get away from how I could throw it in here what I like, but without giving away.
Yeah,
Let Jesse go
that's-
first,
that's
and I'll try
okay.
to see what I can come up with.
If indeed you want Sean's premium paid selection on this game, okay, get it at gamblersworld.net. Trying to get away from him giving everything away because he's a great handicapper. And folks, you know what? You can't keep giving stuff away free when you have the knowledge base that he has. Okay, Jesse, any thoughts on this game yourself?
I do not have a premium pick on this game, but if I did, I'd be with Ross the Boss because I think the Rams are underrated. I think people aren't giving them enough credit. I like their young receivers. Of course, Cooper Kupp back. Yeah, I mean, this is a team that's had success in the past. They're a different look. I like them. I think. What's that? Shaking your head.
Oh, first half under Bam, I don't like. I think Bam is good.
But I want to address the comment from Stop Geo Engineering about Ross Benjamin. If you'd ever be willing to make a guest appearance on the Picks at Dave show, so it's a great show. I go on it and Sean goes on it, but the idea that it's a good fit for Ross, I take a little bit issue with because when I go on that show, it's usually with a bunch of guys that are way younger than me, and I feel like I'm the out of touch old guy. And if they got me feeling like that, I can't imagine what Ross would think of the whole thing. Sean, you have any opinion on that?
Yeah, I feel the same way I'm on there because a lot of it are, in game and parlays doing a lot of kind of stuff, and that's not what I do.
I mean, I think Ross would get along great with Dave, but you mix him in with some of the guests on the show, and I think
Ross would be like,
you're asking for trouble.
It's like the
All
Joe
right, but
Pesci meme. Where the F am I?
You know what? Reach out to me at benjaminsports@yahoo.com and we'll discuss it. So, yeah, I appreciate you thinking of me, and I appreciate you having the other two guys on, and we appreciate all the support we can get. So, and we appreciate you chiming in as well. You better bet Bama.
It's good.
I want to say Star Child has put a picture up of Jesse when he was 21 years old and on a beach in Thailand with a good tan. Anyway, what else? It's it. So let's again, Sean, we heard what Jesse's been doing of late. Tell the folks a little bit because you're on the top of the leaderboards on the 7-day and 30-day chart, 3-day chart as well. So tell the folks a little bit about what's been going on.
So that just goes to show like how hot I've been because yesterday I had a bad day. Couldn't have a winner. I didn't have winner in football. I like the under in the Saints game. Didn't get there. Some baseball losers. So as we mentioned, right? Anybody can win a day or two. We like to go long, and I do. I got college football up for tomorrow. I got, I believe, 3 packages up for college football Saturday, 3 more for NFL Sunday, Monday night winner going there, and I'll have probably some baseball. We might have World Series if things might wrap up this weekend, so we got some MLB up on the site as well.
About baseball. Jesse's hot in baseball. I've hit my last 4 in baseball. Sean's hot in baseball. Again, folks, you can get our picks over at gamblersworld.net. Guaranteed, you must win, you must make a profit, or your account gets credited the exact amount of your purchase price. And that's been pretty much a moot point for all of us of late. Where's Mr. T, says Peter Reyes.
Yeah, I was going to respond to that. No chance today.
Yeah, he doesn't want to wear out his comedy routine, Sean. So, again, between him and Jesse with these wigs and in these wardrobes, I think we're doing very well in terms of entertainment.
I mean, Halloween is just around the corner.
Yeah, you never know what could happen.
Yeah. Halloween is just around the corner, and so is college football, which goes tomorrow. Anyway, looking for my stuff here, and let me run this by you. Continue to be hot, folks. 4-0 the last 2 days. Hit with Jacksonville last night. 2-0 in Major League Baseball. 1-0 in Major League Baseball on Wednesday, and also 6-1 with my last 7 in Major League Baseball. I said 4-0, but it's actually 3-0 and 6-1 in Major League Baseball. And then if you go back to August the 4th of 2023, just a couple months ago, 55-37 Major League Baseball, good for 64%. Folks, I don't give out big favorites. So if you're worried about getting a -170 or -180 from me, forget about it. You ain't getting it. Or as they say, forget about it. NFL starting to come on since week 2, 17-10, 63%. My NFL and college football combined 41-21 since September 14th. 69%. 24-11. I'm sorry, 66%. I don't want to miscalculate anything for you guys. College football, 24-11 since September 14th, 69%. Since December 2nd of last year, as documented by Sports Capping, 46-25 in college football, 65%. And finally, 4-0 the last 2 days, 62-31 since September 21st, which is good for 67%. And since August 4th, 110-69, good for 62%. That's with all sports, folks. I don't know what you're waiting for. You get all my picks right now at gamblersworld.net. Many of you have subscribed, and that's a good thing, not only for me, but these two guys as well. We have proven over the years, and right now especially, that we're all hot right now. And if you invest in us long term, we will make you money. And don't forget, all 30-day subscriptions or fewer, 30-day, 7-day, 3-day, they're all guaranteed. If you don't make a profit, we will credit back your account the exact amount of your purchase price. You could use that on the same handicapper. You could use it on a different handicapper. You could use it anytime you like. And there you have it. Doesn't get any better than that. And then, folks, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please take a second to do so. There's a WC logo right there in the bottom right-hand corner of your video box. If you're watching on your PC, click on that. Also, if you're watching on your smart TV or your mobile device, there's a black subscribe button right underneath your video box. Click on that and take one extra step. If you've already subscribed and you haven't done this, I'd like you to do this as well. Go into your YouTube settings, and there's an alert notification bell. Hit that for the Winner's Circle Sports Betting channel, and you'll be notified immediately upon any of our videos being published there on our great channel. All right, one more comment here. What's up? This is the same one. Okay. All right.
No,
so
there was a good one about college basketball though that you probably want to address, Ross, from Dan.
From Dan. Okay, let me search that out. Do you recall what it?
I could read it out.
All right, here we go. Hey guys, off topic question. Don't burn up too much time, but can you tell us about college basketball? You guys going to have a lot of videos and stuff? Absolutely, Dan. The trend will continue. It will heat up in college basketball more after the completion of college football season. And probably after the first of the year, when we get into conference play, it'll really start to heat up where you'll see college basketball videos at least, or shows at least 3 to 4 times a week at minimum. Okay. One more. Glad I got to catch this one live. Tell the people we already know the Browns crush the Colts. Okay.
No.
Yeah, I don't agree with that one. But Jesse, anything you want to add to that?
Nothing. I don't want to add nothing. I want to tell people something though.
And as usual, has to chime in here. And Colts money line for Sean. So Arbel wasn't going to bring it up, Sean, because you had a great week.
I busted out the chains before I had a huge weekend too. So that's why you got to just bust them out periodically.
All right. Real quick thoughts on Packers -1 against the Broncos. I have no thoughts.
Under.
I'd lean Packers.
All right. So a lean from Colonel Klink's nephew on the Packers. Uncle G under GB is Sean.
Thank you.
I got to get caught up with the transfers for college basketball. You know what? Getting caught up. I would look. If you're doing that for betting purposes, you're wasting your time. Okay. You may want to glance at them if you're just a college basketball fan. Now that's another story. And it's also put 2 days aside, because in college basketball, as opposed to college football, we're talking 3 times as many teams. Well over 363 teams play Division I basketball. And then you factor in that each team probably brings in an average of about 3 transfers. And I'm probably conservative with that. That's over 1,000 transfers to account for. And what I'm trying to say, folks, again, we've told you many times, it's nice to factor in players on occasion, but it's more so for fantasy. And if we know about a player and we know about a statistic, so do the sports books. And it's all incorporated into the line. All right, guys, any final thoughts before we go? None. All right, Jesse, there's a like button underneath. Tell the folks what you want them to do with it.
Smash that like button.
All right, smash that like button, folks. It's just a small
This guy
token
gives
of
me tinnitus.
appreciation for the time, work, and effort we put into this channel. And once again, thank you for joining us. We appreciate all of you out there. We hope you have a great weekend, a winning weekend, and a safe weekend. God bless.